All right, so on Friday, you were asked to take a look at the three texters, right, to see who could text the quickest. And you had to kind of make sense of these ratio tables because they're all kind of different and they give us different ratio values for how quick that they can type or text under a certain time. So I put you guys into groups, right? And you had to figure out who texted the quickest or who could text the most words. And there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. And so I was walking around the room, and one of the methods that Giovanna came up with, which she's going to come up here and I'm actually going to blog you if you don't mind. All right, you get to go live. And she's going to kind of talk, and I'll help you with it. She's going to talk us through of what she did to figure out who could text the quickest. And before I call her up, I think we did confirm who was the fastest and who was the slowest, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Who was the fastest? Michaela was the fastest. All right, great. And who was the slowest? Maria. And then I think I had asked you, but I want to see again by a show of hands, who got them both right? That's pretty impressive. Just about 90% of you got it right. All right, Jay, you ready? Come on up. And you know what might help too is if I go to full screen, it will help us to see everything at once. And hold on to this and I'll wire you up. Oh, great. Coming around. You comfortable?
Yeah.
Good enough, right? All right, so what'd you do?
Okay, so I looked at it. I was looking at the ratio tables, and I realized that every 2 minutes, this one, you could go 90 every 2 minutes you could do 90 words, and every 2 minutes for this.
For Jenna, right?
Yeah, and then every 2 minutes you could do 100 words, and for this, every 2 minutes you could do, I think it was 45.
Okay, how were you able to figure that out based on 2 minutes, though?
Well, I looked at that and I realized that there has to be a number in between.
Okay.
And then I realized that you could simplify that even more.
Okay.
And I did the value. I got the value of the ratio, and it was, I think. Can I go get my paper?
Sure. Be careful yourself.
So
a little closer. There you go. So she found the value of the ratio. So let's start there. What was the value for Michaela?
1 to 50.
All right, put that somewhere where we can see it. Figure out how to get the value of the ratio. What number goes into both 3 and 150? 3, right? So 3 goes into 3 once. That gives 1 minute. And 3 goes into 150 how many times? So she can type 50 or text 50 words per minute. Okay, what about Jenna?
And for Jenna, I got 1 to 45.
Same thing I'll ask you guys. What number goes into both? Madison. 2, right? 2 goes into 2 once. 2 goes into 90 45 times. Therefore, Jenna can type, same thing, 45 words per minute. Go ahead.
And then for Maria, I got 1 to 40. And
same thing. 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 120 40 times. Then from there, how were you able to figure out who was the fastest?
So I realized I was able to realize who was the fastest because all you had to look at was the amount of words that they could type in 1 minute. So I realized that Michaela had the most words that she could type in a minute, and Maria had the least.
Okay, so do you agree that if we have everybody now typing 1 minute, who has the most words per minute? Billy. Michaela, she could type 50 words per minute. So the method that she just used is called value of the ratio method. How many of you did it this way? A couple of you, right? Who did it a different way? Log it? Come on up, come on up. Give Gia a round of applause. She did a good job. Piss off, Jake. I can't figure out where the heck he sends. Got it? Say hello to the outside world.
Hello.
All right, here, put this on around your neck. Tell us what you did.
So,
Okay.
sure. So first I looked at it and I figured out I need to find out how many words per minute. So then I did like the zero trick and figured out, let's see, I did the zero trick and figured out that 120 divided by 3 would be 40, and then 90 divided by 2 would be 45, and 150 divided by 3 would be 50. So I didn't really put the ratio, I just kept it in my head.
Okay.
And then,
So you did minutes into words, 3 into 150. And then 2 into 90.
yeah,
And 3 into 120. So
yeah.
essentially the same thing as finding that value of the ratio. And then once we're able to get everybody typing the same amount of time, whoever is typing the most amount of words in that particular time period, whether it's a minute in this case, maybe there's other ways to do it where you can figure out other minutes. But if you keep the minutes the same, you can then compare who's the quickest by simply looking at the words. Anybody do it differently? All right, come on up. So, uh-oh, you're caught. Okay, you're good. Put this around that way. Oh, Keith.
Yeah.
It's reversed, actually. Flip it. Do it this way. Better. Sort of. All right, good enough.
Well, what I did, instead of finding what the the ratio was, I just found out what was between 2 and 4, and like what 3 minutes would be,
Good,
which
okay.
would be 3 minutes to 135 words.
All right, so there's a little in between here. My question is, how are you able to figure out that for 3 minutes, you get 135 words?
Because this one is 3, and that one's 3. So I looked at the words, 150, 135, and 120, and 150 is greater than each one.
Okay, but how did you get this ratio? You realize you had to get a 3, and you had a 3 and a 3 here, but you had to build a 3 here. How did you know that that's 135?
Because I need to find the ratio, like how much was between each, like 2 to 90
Okay.
and 40
So
to
what she
50.
did is, okay, guys, this is for you too. How much is in between 90 and 180? How many numbers are in between 90 and 180? 90. What's half of 90? So she took the 45 and she added it to the 90 and got 135. Now, I think, you tell me, once everybody's typing the same amount of minutes, which is 3, whoever has the most amount of words in 3 minutes would be your fastest typer, which is Michaela. How many of you did it this way? This method is called building equivalent ratios. Okay? And there's other ones in between here too, but when you're coming up with those ratios in between, you're building equivalent ratios where you can compare either when all the minutes are the same or all the text words are the same. Come on up. So we have 2 ways so far. Get to the value of the ratio or build equivalent ratios. And here comes Ava Mueller.
I'm not sure if it's correct, but I got the right answer, so.
Show me what you did.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay, so I took their, like, the most amount of, like, words they could do in, like, a amount of minutes, and then I divided to see how many words per minute they can do.
Okay.
So for Michaela got 50.
You're running out of space. There you go.
Jenna got 45. Maria got 30.
So
So
you did that by 9, 450 divided by 9.
Yeah.
360 divided by 8.
yes,
480 divided by 12.
yeah.
Okay? You kind of did it the same way as Geo did, because it's value of the ratio. Because watch, look at what you did. Nine into 450, right? You took both and divided it by 9 to get 50 words per minute. 8 into 360, which is 360 divided by 8, and 8 divided by 8 gives us what's called the unit, or the value of the ratio. Same idea. Same idea. Can anybody build equivalent ratios in between here? Because there's other ways to do it. Anybody do it a different way, or they think they did it a different way? Oh, and say it again. Let me pause this for a minute. Alright, so go ahead, Anna, what did you do?
Since all the minutes were different from all the other people, I expanded the chart and kept on going.
Standing the table, and what'd you do from there? I know we're kind of a little tight on space, so I'm going to erase this.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Alright, go ahead.
So for Michaela, I think I made it, instead of 9, I did 10 out of 500, 11 out of 550, and 12 out of 600.
Write it down.
Okay. And,
Carefully, you can't beat on it.
oh yeah, okay.
What is the top?
That's the top is the 10 is the
500.
minutes,
Okay, gotcha.
and then the next one's 11 to 550.
Okay.
Okay, I can fit it.
You do it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. That's for that, right?
This one for 10 would be 10.
Yeah.
2.
10.
What is it? 1 to
500.
150. So 10, right?
It would be 500 on the bottom.
500. Yeah. Then what would this be?
That would be the next letter up. Next number.
9
Yeah.
to 500. So you kept all the words the same, right? Let me see.
Wait, I did that.
Oh, you built to 12 minutes. Okay?
Yeah.
So you extended the table and got 12 to 600.
Yes.
I got you. This one you built up
12 again.
12 to
535.
535. And this one's already 6.
Is.
It's called extending the table. In all 3 cases, no matter what solution you use, okay,
Yeah.
whatever solution you use, you've got to either build equivalent ratios or find the value of the ratio, where either minutes are all the same for everybody, or words are all the same for everybody. Okay? But still, what you guys did is kind of impressive, because whatever way that you work or found the solution, and if that works for you and it works every time, go with it. Because I'm not going to be the one to say to you, oh, this way works best. I have an idea in my head what I think works best, but if it doesn't resonate with you, I'm not going to force you to use it. So basically, the next 2 pages are really the same. I did this differently than I've done in years past, because these next 2 pages are the same exact charts. because I was going to outline all three ways for you to do it. Well, we kind of talked our way through that. We did value the ratio, we did building equivalent ratios, and we did Brando's way, which is extending the table. So I want to put you back to work again. Skip the next 2 pages because it's really a summary of what we just talked about. And go to juice mixes. And I'll read it out loud to you, and then I'm going to put you in your groups and see if you can figure it out the same exact ways you did words per minute. It's kind of the same thing. So the tables below show the comparison of the amount of water in cups to the amount of juice mix in scoops of grape juice made by 3 different people. Whose juice would taste strongest and weakest? We did the whole thing with the powdered sugar, or the right? I showed you that, right? Okay, great. So you have Franco's juice water to mix ratios, Renee's water to mix ratios, and Stephanie's. Get together in your groups. Find out whose drink mix takes the strongest and who would be the weakest. All right, guys. How many of you got? Well, Antonio, what'd you get as the strongest?
I got Franco.
How many got Franco as the strongest? Okay, who'd you have as the weakest, Antonio?
I had Renee.
How many had Renee as the weakest? Okay. Talk us through it. What'd you do?
Should I come up there?
I'll write for you.
Okay. So what I did was I divided 4 by 12.
4, 12 by 4.
Yeah. And I got 3 to 1.
Okay, what about Renee?
I divided it 10 to 2, and I got 5 to 1.
Okay.
And for Stephanie, I divided by 8 by 2, and I got 4 to 1.
How many of you did it this way or something similar? Okay? That's the value of the ratio method. So where it says what strategy, if you did it this way, it's value method. What was the strongest?
Franco.
Weakest?
Renee.
Did somebody do it differently? All right, hold it 1 second. I want to take a look. All right, we're going to wrap this up, guys. Quiet before you do. After you find the value of the ratio, then how are you still able to figure out that Franco is the strongest?
Okay. How I found out because Franco has less water, so how do I explain? So Franco has less water. That means that it'll be much stronger.
Okay, everybody notices if you have 1 scoop of mix, everybody's got 1 scoop of mix. It makes sense then the person with the least amount of water would taste the strongest. Have a great lunch.